Hey, what's up? So I want to do a video on my Mighty Mighty Bosstones LP record collection, vinyl record collection. Um, Been one of my favorite bands for a long time, since I was, 15 or so years old. Definitely introduced me to alternative music in general, punk, ska, um, you name it. I mean, this band kind of blew my mind back in the day. Um, Pretty much the first sort of thing that got me off of the radio and MTV and got me interested in different stuff, things that you didn't find on the radio and MTV. This is pretty much it. When I was, like I said, when I was like 14, 15 years old, this was the band that did it, and I've loved them ever since. Wish they do more stuff and more shows, but I know how it is. So getting old. So but I've had a lot of these for a long time, and been some of my prized possessions. Really, one of the bands that got me into collecting records, and like I said, into just alternative music in the first place. I don't know. I guess they're not exactly what you'd think of when you'd say alternative, but just like I said, shit that's not on the radio. This was the band that did it for me. It's got to happen at some point for everyone. So anyway, I think I have them in order here. Devil's Night Out was their first album. This has been pressed and repressed so many times. I think this is a pretty early version. Tang Records, and this is just on plain black vinyl. I know there's a lot of different versions of it on black and white and all the other different colored vinyl, but I think this is a pretty early one. It's very plain. It's not a gatefold or anything like that. It's just a single sleeve, like I said, black vinyl. So that's Devil's Night Out. More Noise and Other Disturbances, which is arguably my favorite album by the Bosstones. Again, this is Tang Records. Not the best looking cover art or anything like that. It's it's like one of those photos that looks like it's been like stretched and distorted and whatnot. But I do have another one of my gems in here, which is a letter I had received back. I had wrote them a letter as a young man did back in those days, handwritten letter, and said, I love you guys, and you're like my favorite punk band, and you're my favorite ska band, and I don't remember anything that I said. And like 6 months later, I got a response back, and there was some like Bosstones stickers, and I think some CIV stickers. I must have said something about I love you and whoever else, Voodoo Glow Skulls, CIV. So there were some Bosstones stickers and some CIV stickers in there. I must have said something about CIV in it. So that's what I got. It's Shane, thanks for the letter, Dickie. And this is pretty cool. This is the envelope that it came in, which says Mighty Mighty Bosstones is the return address. So I hung on to that and put that in with my copy of More Noise. Don't Know How to Party with Ska-Core, The Devil and More. This was definitely one of my prized possessions as a young man. It still is in terms of my record collection. I had found this at Angry Young and Poor in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and bought it back in the day. This is the 10-inch that comes in with it, which is Ska-Core, The Devil and More, and this is a split blue and red vinyl, which is really cool, and a little flyer of Benson Carr in there, and then the actual LP of Don't Know How to Party is a picture disc. Comes in that picture inner sleeve, and that is the picture disc of Don't Know How to Party. I know that pops up on eBay from time to time. I don't know exactly what it goes for, but that's always been one of my prized possessions in terms of my record collection. Kinder Words, 12-inch single. I think I had gotten that just on eBay for cheap. Just a 12-inch single, has 3 tunes. Well, actually two tunes, I think. There's a little sticker here that says track number 3 was supposed to be Pirate Ship, and then there's a little sticker here that says the pirate ship's not sailing here. So maybe they just changed their mind. I don't know. I don't know what the story is on that one. So it's pretty cool. Let's Face It. That was the album that kind of broke them wide open, exposed them to the world in the late 90s. This is on their own Big Rig label. And this is a red colored vinyl. Pretty cool. It's like that kind of clear red vinyl. And then I have another copy, which is autographed by the whole band at the time. I think after some of the original members left. I think this is at the point where Nate Albert had left, and maybe Kevin, I think it was the black saxophone player. I don't know exactly. But the story behind this is I did not get them to sign this myself. I actually had won this in a contest, something that I had filled out online. I don't remember what it was for, what website it was for. This is another thing where I must have filled out some kind of online contest, you know, win an autographed vinyl, the Bosstones, and a few months later it just came. There was no email saying like you won or anything like that. It just came shipped to my house. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I must have won that contest, or, you know, one of the winners or whatever. But hey, I'll take an autographed LP. So I was pretty jazzed to get that in the mail one day. This unfortunately was smudged like this with Dickie's signature towards the bottom. Has some smudging going on. It was like that when I got it. But that's pretty cool. Nice thing to get in the mail. Pay Attention, just their record after Let's Face It. Not one of my favorites by them, but still is a cool album. This is 2 LPs. One is on blue. These come in clear sleeves. So one is on blue and one is on green. So it's pretty cool. You get 2 different colors. Jackknife to a Swan, which is an awesome album. If there's anyone out there who doesn't know this stuff after Let's Face It, or, you know, doesn't know the Bosstones at all or whatever, this is definitely a good one to check out. Maybe even the best jumping off point for the Bosstones. You know, if you've never heard them before, maybe start with this one. Any one of them really, but this is just a good, what I feel to be a good underrated album of theirs. Jackknife to a Swan, really cool artwork. This is partly on side 1 dummy / big rig, and this is also on green, clear green. Pretty cool. But yeah, it's a great album. Pinpoints and Gin Joints, another I would say highly overlooked, awesome record of theirs. One of the later ones. This is on, I think, just Big Rig. Yeah, I think they just self-released Big Rig Records, 2009. Cool record. Cool gatefold cover. And yeah, that's a really great, underrated album. Check that out if you never have. Magic of Youth, which is their most current album. Unfortunately, it's from 2011. And they haven't released a full-length album since then, unfortunately. Love to see them get back in the studio. Again, this is also on just plain Big Rig records put out by them on black black vinyl. Also a gatefold. Has all the cool little characters all over it. Not their best album, but still cool. And a couple of 10-inch records. I only have about 5 10-inch records in my whole collection, and this is 2 of them. So this is a 10-inch version of Devil's Night Out and Where Did You Go. This says Devil's Night Out and Where Did You Go EP in it. And this is on 2 red 10-inch records. They're both red like that. So this is one of those kind of oddball pressings of Devil's Night Out. Like I said, that album's been pressed and repressed so many times. And this is one of them. This is one of those kind of unusual pressings. So the whole thing is on one of these 10-inch records, and then the other one has the Where Did You Go EP. And then the last one I have, which is the 10-inch Question the Answers. Awesome album. Definitely up there with the best album they've released. I don't know if I could pick a favorite, but this one would definitely be up there. This is the one before Let's Face It. And this is pretty cool. This is also on split blue and yellow. And the other is red and clear, if I remember. Red and clear. So that's really cool. And that, I think, pops up on eBay from time to time as well. I've had that for years, though. I don't remember where I bought it. But that was another Big Rig release. So that's it. I will make one on my Bosstones 45s or 7-inch collection, because I have a lot of Bosstones 7-inch records. Yeah, let me know which Bosstones album is your favorite, and subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think. Thanks.